What's up, Mirandi? Guess we're back with another Persona video, and this time we're ranking Persona Protagonist based on the mainline games and based on them being the protagonist, the main character. Now, there are two characters protagonists missing here. First is Wanda, which is from P5X. The reason he's not here, first of all, P5X story is ongoing, and me personally, I haven't gone too much deep into P5X myself. I've started it, but not that much. The other is the Persona Trinity Soul anime protagonist. That protagonist, I haven't seen the anime. I mean, I guess there you can make the argument Shin Megami Tensei because I haven't played that. So the reason why I'm keeping this on main characters is, first of all, I thought I've already done this, but I can't find the video. If somebody knows that I did a ranking of protagonists already, do tell me, because I feel like I already did, but I can't find the video. But the reason I'm doing this as protagonist is because I used to do time to time monthly hot takes video, and Mr. Josh Lee, he's putting me in a corner. He's grabbed me. I think here's the thing, what I say is opinion. Obviously it's not factual, but I try to make arguments to make sure that I'm putting the hammer down, yeah, argue with me. One point I think Mr. Josh Lee does make well is because I rank Maya and Tatsuya really high, but Mr. Josh Lee was like, no, listen, Randiga, you're wrong. Maya is good in Innocent Sin, but as a protagonist, she get foreshadowed by Tatsuya in Eternal Punishment. I'm like, yeah, he's spitting. And then same with Tatsuya, being not the protagonist of Eternal Punishment, Innocent Sin, and alright, I got you, bro. Mr. Josh Lee, I got you. And obviously this guy I haven't watched. So we're doing that, where they're gonna be mainly focused on them being protagonists. Alright, so let's go. At number 8, I wanna put Naoya. Here's the thing, Naoya is... Okay, so there was a debate in Twitter. People call it discourse, I'll just say debate and arguments. That a lot of people were like, Persona characters are self-insert, so they shouldn't talk in the game, and they shouldn't have a name, canon name. I get that, but at the same time, I disagree with that. Every Persona, okay, let's just one by one take them. Tatsuya has Eternal Punishment, so he was a protagonist, but he has personality in Eternal Punishment. Maya, Innocent Sin. Makoto Yuki. Here's the thing. Throughout the game, yes, you have options to pick, but most of the time, he's also known as the I don't care kid. There is that thing, and when you're meeting Junpei and what's her name, Yukari in the rooftop prior to the ending of the game, I believe the last month or last 2 months, it's if you pick the I don't care option in one of the dialogues, they'd be like, oh, leader, that's just like you. So that's focusing that's his personality. And I guess we know it. And then I can't think of an example for Kotone and Narukami right now, but I do remember there are times you can see Kotone is sometimes being agitated and angry and stuff. And you can also in some cases Narukami has that smirk personality as well. And then Joker, here's the thing about Joker. You can make the argument that from the start of the game to Yaldabaoth, or no, start of the game till Sai's Palace, you can technically say he's a self-insert, not really, has some joking personality. But then after the spoilers for Persona 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, obviously. But after that, there's the Akechi scene where he's thinking about it. And then after Yaldabaoth, you can see the game solidifies that he has a lot of personality. I don't get the self-insert part. I do understand it, but I just don't feel it. However, with Naoya, I feel that does exist, because throughout the game you make decisions that evidently you meet your as in Naoya shadow, and he's oh, you did good decision, here's an item. You did get this good decision, here's an item. Obviously when you meet his shadow, he has his own personality, so you can, at that moment, you can make the argument that he's not a self-insert. But then you end the game, and the game is this guy's fate, you decide. It's that's you. So that is something I do feel exists in when it comes to Naoya. Alright, so at number 7, I'm gonna keep Maya. Maya, my beloved, she's amazing in Innocent Sin, but I do have to agree Eternal Punishment is where, like, she's good. She's not a bad character. But I feel like Maya and Aegis has this issue where I feel like them getting the mute syndrome is an issue when they already have a personality. Now they're like forcing hey, you're the protagonist now, so you can't talk. I feel like that is something I don't like, when a character that already could talk, was not the protagonist, is now like, hey, you're the protagonist, pick the dialogue options. It's like, I feel like that's where the problem lies in Eternal Punishment, especially since Tatsuya is like Metal Gear Solid. He's like the protagonist that came out of training. Like, he's like Naruto in Naruto Shippuden, or he's like Goku came back from training, like, to the world tournament. Like, he's like duking it out. He's like supersonic speed. He's like dodging bullets. Like, he's Superman. Like, this guy's like breaking barriers. He's like, but then you have Maya, who's like, yeah, she's cool. She has some conversations with Tatsuya and the other characters, which is cool. And she has some funny moments with like pranking some what's his name? Baofu? Where is he? I just can't find him. What the hell? Oh yeah, Baofu, and like this whole thing with the CD woman and stuff. It's just kind of fun, but I feel like Innocent Sin is where she solidifies, but obviously she's the protagonist of Eternal Punishment. Now let's talk about Aegis. Aegis is an amazing character. I think she's like top 5 Persona characters, but obviously we're talking about protagonists. Now, you kind of, to talk about Aegis, you need to mention her like prior to her being a protagonist, because it's a continuation. With Maya, it's a continuation as well, but in Maya, it's more so like different timeline. So it's the Maya, but not that Maya. But with Aegis, it's the same Aegis. Now, I do love the depression part. I do love a lot of like her elements with like remembering the protagonist. She gets her persona, and obviously she doesn't have any social links, so she doesn't get the boost. And like throughout, she's like understanding herself and like trying to be the leader. But I also like the fact that they also added that she's not the leader material. They also kind of do that. Like, she's smart, can solve the mystery, but she's not the leader material. I also like her like finding her decision when fighting her friends. I also love the fact that she's like the whole human thing. But again, I feel like if they want to do protagonists like these, they should make them talk, because Aegis and Maya, I feel like, should not get the mute syndrome that she's the protagonist. Oh, now she, like, I know she's talking, but she's not talking, right? Like, you're picking the options, but then she's not talking. I feel like that is something, obviously. And here's the thing why she's down here is because when you remove the when you only count the protagonist part, you have to focus on the protagonist part, even though it's a continuation. Next up, people are gonna get mad. Yu Narukami. I should have opened that hot take. Damn, I should have. Oh, damn. Should I? Man, I need to go down way fast. So I make it like a hot take post. Savage Gamer Siva Bulusu, he comments. He comments that like Yu Narukami is overrated and Renamami and Makoto Yuki is better. I actually do agree with that in some regards, because here's the thing. I think Narukami has the best villain, mirror villain. As in mirror villain, I mean like Makoto has Ryuji, Tatsuya has Nyaldo, whatever. Kotone also has Ryuji, Joker has Akechi. Naoya doesn't, right? Yeah, no, he does. I don't think Kandori or Maya are like the mirror of, like, yeah, no. But like Joker has Akechi. I think Adachi is like the best representation for like Narukami. Like, that's amazing. I also like him, but here's the problem. Whenever I like ask people, hey, why do you like Narukami? Oh my god, he's Chad. Yeah. Add on to that. I feel like a lot of people, like, he's just, here's the thing. A lot of these protagonists either are developing the characters or having their own personal moments. Narukami doesn't. Like, yeah, like Nanako is like in the hospital and stuff like that, and like he has to find the proper road, which is a good thing. But I feel like in most cases, Narukami is just like he's just there. Like, the Chad personality does make sense in a vacuum. Like, he's just there and he's like, yeah, I do this stuff. Yeah, there's a moment where the car stops because now they're like stuck in a portion. But you pick the proper like options and you're through. And I'll be very honest with you, he's really smart, but I feel like when they're like selecting, like you get the options to select the killer, and then when you pick Adachi, I feel like the game isn't like they're just saying, hey, Narukami is smart, but how did he get to that part? Because here's the thing, I love Adachi, but this is something P4 Revival hopefully fixes this, and I think when Revival comes out, Narukami is gonna shoot up because they're gonna like add linked episodes and stuff. But my major problem with always with Narukami is that he does this stuff, but the game doesn't tell you how he does this stuff. Like, oh, he found out the killer is Adachi. Yeah, with what clues? With what clues? That doesn't even make sense. How, like I know Yukiko, the funny meme thing, Yukiko killer, like she was supposed to be, and like stuff like that. But like you can make the argument that maybe Yukiko killed her, and they do kind of talk about it at the start, like it was in the Amagi Inn and stuff like that. Like that doesn't, like you pick Adachi, you go to the ramen shop, Yukiko's like, oh yes, Adachi-san came. It wouldn't be fun if throughout the game there are clues. Like obviously the game shouldn't tell you it's Adachi, but throughout the games there are clues, and you as the protagonist are like, okay, yeah, you have to follow those clues. No, the game doesn't do that. The game's like, okay, pick the killer. It's like, oh. And then what's funny is like there's social links in that you haven't started. Like, not like that, but like there's the drama club social link, which you shouldn't have interaction with her, but you know her name. He is overrated. Because I think people are unable to justify why people like him. Like, I love him. He's cool. Good guy. Love the dude. But, yeah. Alright, let's talk about Kotone. My darling. My angel. My baby girl. My nakama. She's here. But obviously, she's at number 4 for a reason. I think she's amazing. She has the best sets of social link. That means she has, like, her social link set is the best. Where I feel like I can't find the worst social link. I think the worst social link in her is maybe Koromaru. I still need to complete some of the male social links, but like I think the worst social link for her is Koromaru. But again, sorry. The worst social link for her is Fuka. Fuka's social link is just awful. I'm sorry. Her Fuka social link is way awful. Then like Makoto's Fuka social link is way better. But other than that, I think her social link and sets of social link are amazing. I think Saori is like top 3 social links. She's like, for me, she's best, but you can make the argument for like Akinari or Aegis. Like she's top 3 or top 5. She's amazing. Her like screaming personality and like smiling through depression. Like she has depression, but she's smiling through it, is all but amazing. But here's the thing. She, in my opinion, has like the interactions with the protagonist, the male characters and stuff. And she has like a different approach to Shinjiro's kind of death because he doesn't die in Portable. But I feel like after Reload, man, they really, people will hate on Reload but will not talk about the good things. I'm sorry, they made Makoto like linked. Like here's the thing, when I mention linked episodes, I just don't go, oh, linked episodes are now making, let's pick these guys, is now making Akihiko better. Or he's like, it's making Junpei, who's already better, really good. It improves Ken and Koromaru's character, improves Shinjiro's character. No, yeah, linked episodes do that, but they also improve the protagonist. And I feel like Kotone, like she's really good, but she doesn't have anything like boom, like explosive. I love, but she's really good. Next up, we gotta put Tatsuya. Obviously, here's the thing. If I wasn't counting protagonists and Eternal Punishment, Tatsuya is one of my eyes too, but gotta be fair here. Tatsuya is amazing in Eternal Punishment. Like, he's like Chad. Like, he's true Chad. Like, Narukami is like that. Compared to him, nah. Like, but here's the thing about Tatsuya. He has, again, he's not self-insert, because you see his personality in Eternal Punishment and Innocent Sin. He has his shadow, which I really love. But I also love one more thing about Innocent Sin is that even though, yeah, he's amazing in Eternal Punishment, I also love the fact that throughout the game, he's like actually like has interactions with friends, and he also has like goofy moments throughout it. And he is the most, like, Tatsuya might be the least if you don't count Aigis and Maya, obviously, least self-insert character, because you do see like his reactions to stuff and like that. He's amazing, but at the same time, I feel like he does get overshadowed by Maya, and he does get overshadowed by other characters because he feels like a rope that's connecting them, and like the other characters are following through, but he's just back, like he's like holding them down, but he himself isn't doing anything until Eternal Punishment. That what I feel like. But I do love that they add like a more feeling to it, because he has like moments where he's down, he has moments where he's shocked, he has moments where he's like angry and stuff like that. I do love that, and I also love his story with Jun, which I think is pretty amazing. But here's the thing, like Jun gives him a lighter and he gives him a watch, which I think the watch is way expensive, unless that lighter is like Gucci or some autograph there or something like that. But alright, this was the toughest I've had. You can like interchange it. Let's talk about Makoto Yuki. Makoto Yuki is amazing. After Reload, he is super amazing. Like, linked episodes do solidify that. I also like that they added Makoto's personality of I don't care and makes him like actually caring about people. Like him also like giving... Junpei was kind of like you expect, because his character was already way more developed in the OGP3. But like him like bonding with Junpei, him bonding with Akiko and telling him, bro, you're a winner. And then him also bonding with Shinjiro, where Shinji is like, yeah, you don't take don't take anything from anyone, like you're your own guy. I like that for the linked episodes. And also like the emotional moment with him like being like, here's the thing, prior to Reload, his Koromaru had one master, like the shrine dude, like the priest, whatever, and then the second master was Ken. Now after Reload, they have changed that. Obviously they're like retconned it, is that Koromaru had the first master, then the second master is Makoto, then the third master is Ken, which is kind of sad to think about. Damn, the dog got a lot. But I like that his interactions with the linked episodes are amazing. He has his thing. Makoto has the worst set of social links, but I think it's because of how old the game is. Those social links have aged terribly. Because what Persona does, a lot of people don't talk about it that much, is Persona, when they were released, they take problems or like TV tropes of that era that were in that time and put them in like their game. Like Maiko, divorced parents. This was an issue back in the day. Even now it's like, yeah, divorce rates are rising up, but a lot of people don't think of it as an issue to talk about. But back in the day, like divorce rates were high up. So people were talking about it like, okay, why are families breaking apart, and it affects the children. Now, like, that's not, like, in a lot of countries it is an issue, but obviously Persona focuses more on Japan as well. Like, that's the thing. The other thing is Keisuke Hiraga, the the doctor dude who wants to be a painter. Like, he has this, like, conflict between, should I do what I love or should I do what my dad wants? And then his dad's like, oh, you can be a painter. And he's like, okay, now I want to be a doctor. And it's like one of those things is, do you want to do something you want, or do you want to do something you need to do? Like, the need is the doctor and then the want is the painter. Stuff like that. Even Akinari is a trope. Like, a unknown illness that will kill the character. Like, even Akinari is a trope. Even Aegis is a trope. A robot trying to become a human, understanding human nature. Like, all of these characters are tropes. Not counting the main characters, even though some of them do. Like, if you look at Fuka, the trope is, back in the day, it's like, a girl shouldn't be playing with computers, or a girl shouldn't be playing with boy toys. She should be like feminine, yeah. A girl should be feminine, like stuff like that. But, and even throughout her social life, she's like, hey, I know I play, like, use computers a lot, and I don't have the women like personalities. Like, they take these problems seriously. And even if you think about Yukari's, like, her mom issues and stuff like that. Like, Junpei has dad issues, though he does not have a social link. But, like, he has a linked episode. But also, like, this is something that was something back in the day. But nowadays, you look at these, some of these problems are like, they do exist, but they aren't talked about that much. So now you look at them, even like, he's not here, Kenji, which people like go, creep, disgusting. Back in the day, this was a thing. Go watch old American movies, go watch old TV shows. There would be one episode where the kid that just recently got puberty would be like, damn, that teacher's hot. I like that teacher. Like, that is something that happened. They usually take this stuff. And that's why I feel like his set of social links got worse. Even like, I can keep mentioning a lot. Even like, what's his name? Dude, the Miyamoto? The track dude, which is in his school, not Hayase that he's competing with. But the track dude, which is with Yuko. His is also like a injury which he needs to like fix, but he's promised someone. Like, these are tropes that have been done in the past, which I feel like Persona takes for their social links, even with P5, even with P4, even like somewhat with Portable. The reason why P5 works is because they take those tropes and exaggerate them. We'll talk about that, but I think he's really good because of the linked episodes. Now, Joker. If this was OG P5, he would be way down. But Royal really solidifies Joker. Royal is where... Here's the thing. The 4 Royal characters. Joker, Akechi, Maruki, Sumire. You can like interchange them. For me, Akechi is 1, Maruki is 2, Joker is 3, Sumire is 4. But it's like, they're like the magnum opus. The kings and queen of Persona 5 Royal, if you want to say that. So you can interchange them. Like, here's the thing. After Akechi's death... and like his interactions with Akechi and like his confidence interactions, and throughout like him being the character that can't see any other people be in trouble, like that's pretty good. Also, like throughout him thinking Akechi made a promise, and throughout him going out, you can see like throughout the like, okay, I don't want to lower Kotone and Makoto Yuki's depression or Tatsuya's depression, but a lot of people don't really realize when they play with Joker, he, throughout the game, gets depressed. He starts off, like, he's, like, in this piss trouble with, like, Shiro and stuff. So he's like, damn, I gotta be in probation. Boom. He's in probation. Now, that's an issue because he's, like, being rumored around. Like, he's, like, an evil, like, nobody, like, he's the worst scumbag ever, even though in his school, Kamoshida exists. But sure. But, like, he's the worst of the worst. And then later on, he's, like, being... like, he found new friends and stuff like that. Cool. That's also amazing. But it said USB not recognized. I was confused. Like, what USB? But, like, throughout that... and then later on, he makes friends. Like, his life gets good. Boom. He's now, like, Makoto... Nijima. He's, like... she's, like, stalking him. Like, stuff like that. It's not a big deal. Makes new friends and stuff like that. Boom, Sai Nijima's palace. He's being drugged. He's like... he's like being drugged and stuff. It's like... damn, this guy is like going through a lot. And I've seen nobody talk about this stuff. Like, he's going through a lot. Boom, that's done. Now he has... his friend betrayed him. And in Royal, it makes it worse because Akechi has a confidant. And then boom, that friend dies. And that friend also promised a challenge. And it's like, oh... damn. And then later on, he's back. But he's a cognition. So he's not really there. He's actually dead. I mean, psych, he's not. But, like, he's dead. So a lot of people don't talk about this. But this guy has a rough life, too. People don't talk about that. Because people bring up Makoto. People don't bring up Tatsuya. But a lot of people, like, the new fans have not played P2. People bring up, like, smiling through depression. Bro, this guy... like, he's getting bumps down and everything. Like, here's the thing with Makoto and Kotone. Like, they start off with huge levels of depression, but it slowly goes down to a point where they accept their peace and are ready to die. Bro, Joker starts off with depression, it finally goes down, and it's like, boom, boom, up, 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 up. It's like, damn, bro, how much can you force on a guy? But I think this is my ranking. I can make it like a really retrospective video. Like, you know how they're like Kotones like smiling to depression? I feel like I can make a Joker video. Constant depression. That's an idea for someone out there. But are my round, you guys hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, click on the bell. See you guys next time with another Persona Shin Megami Dragon Ball favorite what a video. Tell me, how do you like this list? If you want to list down yours, comment below. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so consider subscribe if you're enjoying. And if you want more ranking videos, I do tend to do that. Like, comment, subscribe. I don't know. So you guys next time with another Dragon Ball Persona Shin Megami Dragon Ball Fairy Tale what a video. I'm looking to stop recording. Bye 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 bye.